Having years of experience teaching online, you know I can't help but give you extra tips. Okay, so some bonus things that I want to share with you that will really enhance your virtual classroom are, the first one is make sure that you're looking into the camera, the webcam. It's really tempting to look at the video or to look around like you might in person. But virtually, it doesn't translate as well. So if you want to look like you're engaged and you're listening, make sure you're looking into the webcam. Teaching online is different than teaching in person, and there's some things that you need to be extra mindful of. For example, your listening face. You want to be mindful that your face looks engaged. It's really important that the student feels that they're communicating with you, not that you're bored. And sometimes our listening face looks angry and bored. I mean, we can't help it, or can we? Yes, you can. You need to practice listening in a way that you look interested. For example, usually when I listen, it's just this. But when your muscles relax that much in this visual setting, it comes across as angry and bored. So you want to practice your kind of perk up your lips a little bit, make sure that your eyes are smizing, that you're looking engaged. This helps build confidence. If the student feels that they're being listened to and that they're saying something in a way that's engaging you, it helps them feel more confident and want to speak more. So all you have to do here is hop on a practice call with someone or just record yourself listening to audio, and you want to just adjust some of your facial muscles. So not only should you have the lighting that's in your room, if you have like a natural ceiling light, I recommend getting, it can be simple, it doesn't have to be fancy lighting, get 2 lamps around your house and put them next to your computer. Having lights from both directions really softens the face, and it also allows the camera to film you in a clearer, crisper way. And this is all that the student is seeing, so you want to make sure that it is clear and it looks good, because when it looks good, it feels warm to the student. So what you're trying to do, think about if you're in person, would you stand in the shadow while someone's talking to you? No. So in the same way, you want to kind of provide that energy through lighting. So it's not just about your face, things in your surroundings can also help. Speaking of your surroundings, make sure that your place is quiet. If you have pets or if you have family members that are usually around the house, close the door wherever you are, put a sign so that they know not to disturb you. It might not sound like a big deal, but it is. These people are paying for your time, they're paying for your expertise. They're not paying to see your dog run up on your lap or to hear kids or husbands or wives in the background asking you where the coffee is. So these are small things that can help make their experience as seamless and professional. You want to make sure that they get their money's worth. Oh, if you're new to teaching online, something that's definitely a shift from traditional teaching is the notion of homework. So I just want you to be mindful that not everyone wants to do nor has the time to do homework. So my approach is talk to the student first, understand their expectations. Some people love or need to, if they're doing for test prep, then they're probably more inclined to do work outside of class. If they're learning for conversational, business, or travel English, they might not be as inclined to do extra work outside of the classroom. And that's really important for you to know because it affects how you teach. So talk to the student, understand their expectations, and you need to understand what they're willing and actually able to do outside of the classroom. If it's nothing and they say, I just want to show up and learn in class and then I'm too busy and tired to do anything outside of class, then be empathetic and get creative. Something else that's really tempting to do when you're teaching online because you're so excited that you have all of this amazing time with this one student is jumping in and getting to the point of whatever your lesson is immediately. However, it is really crucial and also a huge benefit of teaching online that you have the opportunity to build rapport with your student. Allow, schedule, budget the first few minutes of your class and the last minute for building rapport. This makes a huge difference because if you're teaching adults like I do, they're tired. They're probably getting to the classroom after a full day of work, after hanging out with their families, and the fact that they showed up is a huge success in and of itself. So you want to ease them into it so that when they know they have to go to the classroom, it's not like, ugh, I have to go study English, but instead it's like, okay, I wonder what Tanya's going to say today. Or I can't wait to share what happened at work with her. So you want to build that kind of relationship, because then it stops being about learning for them and it starts being about communicating. And that's when the magic happens. So take the first few minutes. You can start with something as simple as, how was your day? Or if you remember something that they did before, you can say, oh, so how did your meeting go? Or how was your interview? Or did you like the restaurant that you went to on Friday? So the more you get to know them, the better your questions are at the beginning of the next lessons. Now, the other thing is, if you have a kind of bad memory, write a note down for yourself, or just try to remember. And at the end of the class, maybe mention something from the beginning. So if they happen to open up and say like, oh, I have a big presentation tomorrow, great. Then at the end of the class say, all right, like, thank you so much for being here and good luck on your presentation tomorrow. And then when the class ends, what that does is it leaves your student feeling really warm and fuzzy inside. Like, wow, my teacher really listens to me. She really cares about what's going on in my life. So again, it's about transcending the subject you're teaching and about creating a relationship that helps them want to come back. So not only is it good for teaching, it's great for client retention and for business. At the end of the day, you're doing this also for money and for a life that you need to support. So in order to make this sustainable, you need repeat clients. So this goes full circle. It helps you be a better teacher, create a better learning experience, which then makes repeat clients, which then allows you to get paid and live off of what you love to do. In addition to building rapport, you also want to get to know your student. And personally, I like to keep some notes of what they like. So as you get to know them and you know that they like maybe scary movies, or they enjoy, I don't know, football or other interests, keep track of that, because what that does is it helps you create content or provide information that's relevant to their interests. So if I know one of my students is really into tennis, for example, and I start paying attention to things about tennis differently, even if I'm not interested in it. If I'm on Instagram and see a post about Serena Williams and like some new amazing victory she had, then I can bring that up in class and say, oh, did you see, like, she won Wimbledon again. Getting to know your students' interests is really, really helpful for content creation as well as for building a relationship. So as you get to know them and you know things that they like outside of the subject that you're teaching, keep some notes. So I actually keep it a running list on the Google Doc for the student. If you don't have that, you can just write it on a piece of paper or wherever you keep track of things. And what this does is it helps you pay attention and be on the lookout for resources they might like. For example, if a student really enjoys comedy, for example, then if you hear of a new show or a new movie that's kind of the humor that they like, you can recommend it. If you know that a student really likes tennis, for example, maybe you're not into tennis, but if you happen to hear about or look for articles about tennis, that can be a great reading practice. So they're reading about something that they like and that they like to talk about, and that's way more fun than a random article, for example. So again, teaching online allows you this amazing opportunity to really tailor lessons to your students' needs and interests. So get to know them, keep track of it, and then try to find content that would be engaging for them. Another thing to be mindful of is how you look. What you wear from your waist down doesn't matter, but from your waist up, there are a few things to be mindful of. Number one is culturally, where is your student coming from? You know, if your student is coming from a more conservative culture, consider wearing long sleeves. And if you're not wearing long sleeves, make sure you have business appropriate attire. Don't wear tank tops or tube tops or strappy tops. I know that in some places it might be really, really hot, but wearing a tank top is not going to look very professional because all they see is this. So get a fan, do what you need to do, and make sure that you look office appropriate. Skype by itself is a great resource. Something that I use in addition to that, I use Google Docs all the time. I like this better than sending a PDF or sending notes because they're live. So the student can see me type. They can also practice their writing skills and type things in the document. That's something that I would use as an additional resource. So again, Google Docs.